picking up housing in the last class. I know what we were doing too. It was Ashford and then parenting styles. And there's a really good parenting styles video. We were all the way, we were asking what type of parenting did you grow up with and what way do you want to parent your kids? And so they gave 4, the video actually gave 5. I had one of each. I had an authoritative parent and authoritarian. If you have a permissive parent or no one, that usually means you could like go to their house and party. And then even the uninvolved parent, like emotionally detached, self-absorbed, inconsistent, no boundaries. So to explain them again, I'm going to go back to the video of sitcoms. Anybody ever seen The Cosby Show? Is it too old for you guys? Because I feel like it's from the 80s. So maybe they do reruns now? They called it a sitcom. All right, so here, Modern Family. I haven't seen that one either. A really good one had The Cosby Show, and maybe I actually have to search The Cosby Show. Parenting styles. Hello. Cosby Show sitcom. So there's one that had a few. Oh, Modern Family. Anybody seen Modern Family?
Yeah.
I guess that's another newer sitcom, right? All right. Well, I'll just go to the one by one because. So parenting styles. There's also a test. And we'll start out with the Modern Family one. Or 70s show. Anybody seen the 70s show? Which one you'd be more likely to know about, Modern Family or the 70s show? Okay. They got a few of them. That's funny. All right, we'll start out with that one. Different types of parenting.
You know the rules? Helmet. Off with you. I'll tell you what, I got a little thing this morning at the office. Why don't we meet back here at 1 for a little best friend catch up? Deal? Deal. Sounds good.
You know what doesn't sound good? One grown man calling another grown man his best friend.
She doesn't get us. See you, buddy.
What is that? Crostini with edamame puree. Pepper says anyone who's still doing tomato basil missed the boat. Or should have.
Hey, Lionel, you don't have to eat that stuff they brought for you. We won't tell. Pop a Cheeto, be a kid.
But the guys went to the trouble of making Rosa make this for me. I should finish it.
Hey, Lionel, heads up, catch.
No, thank you. Pepper and Ronaldo don't allow ball playing at the house.
Well, you aren't at Pepper and Ronaldo's house. This is a fun house, so.
Yeah, that's what they call it.
Well, now I feel like doing something. So, hey, Lionel, heads up, catch.
I'm sorry. I told Pepper I couldn't move my arms in this jacket, but he said fit over function.
No, you know what? It's fine. Things break.
I'll pay for it.
No, you won't. We got it for free when we opened a credit card at the gas station.
I insist. I have traveler's checks in my bag.
No, Lionel, it's fine. Okay.
No, you know what? This is upsetting me. He dresses the way they tell him to dress. He eats what they tell him to eat.
Kind of the control his every move, and he clearly feels pressure to go along with it.
That's probably why he keeps telling me how lucky I am to live here.
He said that? What? Why didn't you tell us?
You guys don't leave a lot of space to jump into your
You
conversation.
know what this is, Cam? He's obviously jealous of Lily because we allow her to be a kid and have fun.
Imagine how jealous he'll be when he finds out about my horseback riding lesson.
Let
We're
it
not
go.
doing that.
Stop. You know the rules? Helmet. Off with you.
Jetty, you're kidding.
I never joke when it comes to fruit. Got a miracle in your head? It's a half plum, half apricot. There was a time they could only accomplish that in juice.
Ah,
Jay, I'm sorry, kind of lost track of time. Hey, no worries. Who among us hasn't blown off his best friend he hasn't seen in 4 years to go fruit shopping? Sounds like somebody could use a pomegranate fruit blast.
blast means yogurt.
You've been spending too much time in the jungle. What you need is a little civilization. Let's go bowling. Well, I would love to, but I kind of want to take a nap before we go to the theater. You're taking Shorty to the theater?
Yes, I got the tickets for me and Manny, but he can't go. And Shorty loves Wicked. He thinks he's a galing.
Wait, is this his wife? What's the age gap? Because it looks big.
Like 20 years.
Okay, all right. This one is good. It doesn't show the details. The other ones might show it, so I'll show those next.
And his brother and Elphaba.
You know what you're doing, don't you? You're turning Shorty into Manny. Stop hugging my best friend.
Hey, if you're so upset, then you can take him. Stop saying best friend. You're too old to be using that word. Hannah from Montana has a best friend. You don't.
At least my best friend isn't my son.
I'm your best friend, Mom?
Yes, Papi. You are the son that he's talking about.
All right, so there was the 70s show kind of details in here with the
When the Eagles
parenting
won the Super
styles.
Bowl.
And
One of the greatest days of my life.
But that day was
dang, they don't
ruined.
even let you mute commercial. They're smart. All right, here we go. He's kind of authoritarian.
Oh, no, honey.
Yep, he thought he could sneak out.
So, what now, Ho Chi Minh?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Playtime is over. Your friends are no longer allowed in the house.
Wait, what?
No, we'll talk about it in the morning.
Fine. We'll talk about it in the morning. We'll talk about how your friends are no longer allowed in the house. No. This is for his own good. Look, in order for Eric to be happy, well-adjusted adult, he has to be miserable now. That's just good parenting. If I was to be Mr. Nice Guy now, you know what would happen to Eric in a few years? Do you? Oh, Eric! Breakfast!
So he's authoritarian, and he's saying if he was more of a permissive parent or even neglectful, that's how the kid would turn out, is his theory.
Oh, there's my sweet little baby boy.
Why didn't I discipline you?
Shut up and eat your cornflakes.
That's what. Never surrender, Kitty. Never retreat. We're winning.
So anybody want to offer type of parenting you were brought up with, or the way you want to parent if you have kids, out of these options? Authoritative, authoritarian, permissive, or uninvolved? And you could have two, like one parent could be on one side and another could be on the other. And this side is higher on warmth, these two. These are lower in warmth, like they're not as nice. And then these are higher in control. And on the bottom, they're lower in control, where like they kind of are more your friend. Anybody have the authoritarian parent? Mm-hmm. They were like, do your homework. You just did it. But would they have a time you had to be home at? Curfew? Anybody get the permissive parent where they're just like, you'll take care of yourself? Because there's an argument to like how kids turn out with every single one of these. I'll see if I can find the other video too.
Can you pass around the signage?
Yes. Anybody have a notebook by chance? If not, I can get one from here. Okay. Yeah, so we watched the one that had 5 because it added the helicopter parent, but this one looks to go more of the traditional parenting style again.
University makes it possible.
They really don't let you mute it unless you click
Times come make a break from
it. So you gotta. Where is Franklin University? Columbus? Oh, they got a doctorate. What? I didn't know that. That's impressive.
The weather is starting to get colder, but before
Somehow, that's what I wanted to click on.
Welcome to Mr. Brain. Parenting is a wonderful journey, but let's face it, it can be challenging too. That's why we're here to help. Our parenting series is your ultimate guide to becoming an extraordinary parent. In the realm of child psychology, researchers like Diana Baumrind dedicated their lives to understanding the effects of different parenting styles. Through their meticulous research, they unraveled 4 distinct styles: authoritarian, permissive, authoritative, and uninvolved. Let's explore each one and discover their implications for our children's development. 1. Authoritarian parenting. Imagine the Smiths, a family with strict rules and high expectations. Mr. Smith believes in complete obedience from his children, Emily and Jacob. In their household, discipline is paramount. However, their parenting approach can be characterized as authoritarian. Mr. and Mrs. Smith's parenting style is marked by a desire for control and adherence to rules without much room for flexibility. For instance, Emily is passionate about painting and dreams of becoming an artist. However, her father disapproves of her creative pursuits, considering them a waste of time. He insists that she focuses solely on academic excellence. As a result, Emily feels stifled and discouraged from pursuing her true passion. The authoritarian parenting style, while seeking obedience and discipline, often sacrifices the child's autonomy and stifles their individuality. In the future, children raised under authoritarian parenting may struggle with making decisions, lack confidence in themselves, and find it hard to express their thoughts and feelings. 2. Permissive parenting. Now let's meet the Johnsons, a family that practices permissive parenting. Their household is filled with love, but rules and boundaries are scarce. Mr. and Mrs. Johnson shower their children, Lily and Ethan, with affection, allowing them to do as they please without much guidance or structure. For example, Lily wants to go out with friends late at night, even on school nights. Her parents rarely say no and often give in to her desires. While this permissive approach fosters a sense of freedom and flexibility, it can lead to challenges in self-discipline and respecting authority figures. Lily struggles to understand boundaries and lacks the guidance necessary to make responsible decisions. In the future, children raised under permissive parenting may have trouble controlling their impulses, struggle with authority figures, and find it challenging to set and achieve goals. Without proper structure and guidance, they may face difficulties as they grow up. 3. Authoritative parenting. On the other end of the spectrum, we have the Parkers, a family that embraces the authoritative parenting style. Mr. and Mrs. Parker understand the importance of balance. They create a nurturing environment while setting clear expectations and boundaries for their children, Mia and Noah. For instance, when Noah faces a disagreement with his friend, Mrs. Parker sits down with him, encouraging him to express his feelings and find a solution together. She values Mia's opinions and encourages open communication. Noah feels heard and respected, fostering a strong bond between parent and child. The Parkers' authoritative style provides structure, support, and guidance while nurturing their children's independence and individuality. 4. Uninvolved parenting. Lastly, let's step into the Wilsons' home, where uninvolved parenting takes hold. Mr. and Mrs. Wilson are busy professionals and neglect their children's needs. Sarah and Daniel are left to fend for themselves, lacking guidance, emotional support, and a sense of security. For instance, Alex participates in a school cycle race, but his parents fail to attend or show support. They are too consumed with their own work commitments to prioritize their interests and achievements. Alex feels neglected and unimportant, as if his passions and accomplishments go unnoticed. This uninvolved parenting style often leads to low self-esteem, emotional instability, and challenges in building meaningful connections. Understanding these parenting styles empowers us to make informed choices and create nurturing environments that best suit our children's needs according to time and situation. Join us on the journey of understanding your child's mind and becoming a better parent.
So as we start dipping into theories, one of the most common used one in social work and in counseling in general is called ecological theory, like a holistic approach to look at the different systems we're involved in. That would be what your eco map is kind of drawn out as the different systems that you're participating in, what takes up your time of day. And here's a quick, brief video on ecological theory.
I rely on Grammarly heavily in my day-to-day life. In 1964, a young psychologist appeared before the U.S. Congress with a mission. It was a time when most people thought that the reason poor people stayed poor was a matter of biology and had nothing to do with the environment they grew up in. The psychologist, Yuri Bronfenbrenner, wanted to change that and convince the world that to help those less fortunate, we also needed to change their surroundings. But did he succeed? Bronfenbrenner's ecological system theory conceives that a child is influenced by 5 ecological forces. First comes the microsystem of family and friends that affect the child directly. Second are the forces of the connections between the people around the child, parents with teachers and teachers with peers. Then there are links between social settings that do not directly involve the child, such as the father with his boss, the peers with their parents, and the teacher with the principal. Next is the overarching culture, religion, and social norms that influences all others. And lastly, there is time, which changes everything over the course of one's life. Children are born into a microsystem that influences the child's experiences directly. Children from unfortunate backgrounds are more likely to experience problematic family structures, even if it's simply for the fact that parenting is more difficult if you are poor. They also encounter more negative situations at school or bad influences through friends. Consequently, a child that grows up in a negative microsystem will find it hard to succeed. The mesosystem represents the interconnections between the elements that surround the child. For example, the relationship between the father and the school teachers. If the father doesn't get along with a teacher, the child might suffer. The exosystem involves the links between social settings that do not involve the child. For example, a child's experience at home can be influenced by their parents' experiences at work. If the mother loses her job, there might be more arguments with the father, resulting in changes in their interaction with the child. The macrosystem describes the overarching culture that influences all other systems, such as a child's geographic location and ethnicity. Intelligent people who happen to live in bad places are more likely to move to better ones, but that also means that they are more likely to be strangers in a richer society. So, regardless of the child's biological potential or upbringing, on a macro level, he or she may still be at a disadvantage. The chronosystem refers to changes in the child and the environment over time. As the child grows up, The parents may stop loving each other and divorce, which can be traumatic for an 8-year-old boy. 5 years later, he may have come to terms with how things turned out. But when the boy turns 16, his mom's new boyfriend moves into their tiny apartment, and things get difficult again. Bronfenbrenner, who was influenced by Lev Vygotsky and Kurt Lewin, convinced the US Congress that a child's prospect is not genetically predestined, but is the result of the larger environment they happen to be placed in. Children who grow up in unfortunate social structures, therefore, need a form of support that not only reaches their families, but also elements of their community. Bronfenbrenner's theory helped form the Head Start program in 1965, a government program that has served more than 35 million poor children since. Decades later, Bronfenbrenner and Stephen Sessi proposed an extension of this theory, called the bioecological model. This new model recognizes gene-environment interactions and acknowledges the role of heritability, but adds that genes themselves are under the influence of the environment. In other words, the process of heritability varies in a magnitude of potentials. How much a child can make of the potential they inherit depends on the ecological environment. Bronfenbrenner made a critical contribution to our realization that parent-child relationships do not exist in a social vacuum, but are embedded in the larger structures such as community, society, and culture. In order to develop well, he allegedly said, every child needs at least one adult who is irrationally crazy about him or her. Now it's your turn. Make 5 circles, draw yourself in the center, and add a timeline at the bottom. Then put all the people, institutions, and forces that affect you through the 5 different systems. On the timeline below, you can add some major events from the past and those you expect in the future. Can you tell how the 5 forces are shaping your life? To read more about the topic or download the video without background music, visit sproutschools.com.
So those are ecological theory. Then as we grow old, our parents help teach us social skills and kind of the circular exchange with skills practice, the cognitive strategies, positive reinforcement, modeling, which we've mentioned for kids to learn how to self-soothe is super important. Like if my parents never taught me how to calm down or self-soothe, I don't bring that into the world with me. So sometimes I have to get it from a school counselor or in grade school or high school. There are a few disorders that come up at this age. So one are developmental delays, and that's like the slowed rate of skill acquisition. So either speech, toilet training. There's also developmental disorders. That's like disruption in the performance of skills. ADD and autism would be an example of that. The last one, developmental psychopathology, is like healthy adaptation is impeded. Like if there's an example